Elite Facts presents
10 of the world's most brutal prisons.
10.
Stanley Prison, Hong Kong. Stanley Prison is one of the 6 maximum security facilities in Hong Kong that was built in 1937 and is considered to be one of the worst of them all, as the prison was a popular place of execution before the government lifted capital punishment in the 1990s. Between the 1940s and the 1960s, it's estimated that around 120 criminals were executed in Stanley Prison, with the gallows pole being the main method of execution. It also became a major part of the Stanley internment camp during the Japanese occupation, as the prison was used as a place of torture and execution, and around 600 prisoners were executed there. Refugees from China who tried to cross the border were also imprisoned there, making its population grow to around 3,000 people.
9.
Montelupich Prison, Krakow, Germany. Said to have been one of the absolute worst Nazi prisons in Poland, it was used by the Gestapo all throughout World War II. The prison was used specifically to house political prisoners, victims of the Gestapo's street raids, and British and Soviet spies. Between the years of 1940 to 1944, it has been estimated that around 50,000 prisoners had passed through the prison walls, where it was said that medieval torture was employed as their main method of interrogation. In the years following World War II, the prison was used by the Soviet Army, where they would imprison Polish soldiers from the Home Army, and they were murdered and tortured by the NKVD.
8.
Vladimir Central Prison, Russia. Vladimir Central Prison was built in 1783 and became notorious for housing many political prisoners during the Soviet Union era. As of today, the overcrowded and disease-infested prison is known for the sadistic abuse that the inmates receive from the guards. Prisoners are forced out of their cells, ordered to put their hands on the wall, and given beatings that are reportedly so brutal that they have to be dragged back to their cells, with some cases even ending in a prisoner's death. As if being beaten by the prison guards wasn't enough, it has been reported that prisoners are also ordered to fight each other just for the prison guards' enjoyment.
7.
Kamiti Maximum Security Prison, Nairobi, Kenya. Kamiti Maximum Security Prison is situated on a 1,200-acre lot and has become infamous due to the unspeakable living conditions that the prisoners are subjected to. The prison, which holds a number of political prisoners, has earned a reputation for instances of sodomy, beatings of inmates resulting in death, and epidemics where malnutrition, cholera, and ulcers are normal occurrences. This prison is definitely up there with the worst of the worst.
6.
Black Beach Prison, Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. Black Beach Prison is notorious for its human rights offenses, including guard brutality, malnutrition, overcrowding, and rat infestation. It's been common for prisoners to die from chronic disease, which should come as no surprise considering the living conditions the prisoners must endure. Inmates are always living in constant fear of torture and prolonged beatings, which cause a number of deaths.
5.
Patak Island Prison, White Lake, Russia. Essentially what is considered to be the Russian equivalent of Alcatraz Island, Patak Island Prison is isolated by the White Lake and was built to hold some of the country's most dangerous prisoners. Although the prisoners in this facility are fortunate to not have to deal with brutalizing guards or other prisoners, they instead have to deal with a restricted life of living in cages and in isolation, with no lavatories or any washing facilities. These prisoners have no freedom whatsoever, as they are surrounded by freezing cold water, and snow leaves the prisoners to deteriorate and become psychologically devastated.
4.
San Juan de Lurigancho, Lima, Peru. Said to be the toughest prison in South America, San Juan de Lurigancho was formed and built in 1924 and is said to be able to accommodate 2,500 inmates, but now has 7,000 prisoners within its dilapidated walls. Lurigancho has a very lax environment where inmates can pretty much do whatever they want within the walls of the prison. They can sell anything they want, from DVDs, gadgets, CDs, and other things within that sort of area of consumerism, to selling recreational drugs. Cockfighting is a common sight, as well as visiting prostitutes who are disguised as nurses. Prisoners are not segregated and are left to their own devices, wandering around the facility, committing murder and other acts of violence. If you end up here, just hide.
3.
Rikers Island Prison, New York. Probably one of America's most notorious prisons, along with Alcatraz Island, Rikers Island was characterized by beatings, stabbings, and brutal treatment, not only by the guards, but also by the inmates who were deployed as enforcers by the guards. A hotbed for violence and aggression, it gained media attention in 2007 when an 18-year-old prisoner was beaten senseless with a billy club by other teenage inmates as the guards looked on. It is also known for its cruel treatment of mentally ill prisoners who often turn to suicide just so they can get out of there. It's that brutal.
2,
San Quentin Prison, California. San Quentin Prison is the oldest prison in the state of California, as it opened in July of 1852 and was known for being co-ed, as both male and female prisoners were imprisoned here. Nowadays, it's the largest death row for male inmates in the United States. During the 1930s, corruption was rampant in this prison, where interracial riots became a normal occurrence and were encouraged by the guards.
1,
Alcatraz, San Francisco, California. Probably the most recognizable prison on this list, Alcatraz Island, also known as the Rock or Devil's Island, is a prison hell that was built in the 1920s and was designed in such a way that escape was improbable. As the inmates lost contact with the outside world, they were subjected to abusive and arrogant guards who imposed complete silence, as prisoners who were not only disallowed to converse with each other, but were not able to show their emotions as well.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.